The Cat Report documents real stories of real predators as witnessed and captured by a band of obsessive wildlife filmmakers who live and work in the bush 365 days a year. Previously on The Cat Report. The North Clan showed their brutality in the kill as they filled their bellies from the migration bounty. And their tenderness at the den, where Waffles revealed she has not one, but 2 new cubs. A sausage tree pride lioness had her dinner fight back. Hosanna opted for some snoozing on his breakfast, while Tingana and Tlalamba gave us one of the most heartwarming father and daughter moments.
Hello and welcome to the Cat Report. As you can see, perched atop his bushveld throne is the Duke Tingana. He's sitting surveying the scene as the morning sun rises behind him. He has very little to worry about this morning because he's full and healthy, he's got his interlopers at bay, and his area is full of his offspring. Now, earlier in the week, Tingana had a little dispute with his son, Hosanna. Much as we like to consider our royal leopards born of noble attitudes, it is clear that not one of them is above theft. In the animal kingdom, as we often say, size rarely is the only thing that matters. This time, father stole from son, but the tables might easily have been turned if Hosanna had had a gap to steal from his father. Hostile interaction didn't put the little chief to flight. But fat and full as he was, Tingana wasn't about to allow Hosanna any opportunity to feed. The little chief did his best to look nonchalant as he approached the table, but Dad was having none of it. As the Duke took to the rotting Nyala once more, Hosanna was forced to retreat and loiter amongst the scavengers, adding further insult to injury. Tingana is a leopard that loves to eat, and it certainly looks like that's his plan for the morning. Now there's 3 warthogs there. He seems to have known where they are. He went up onto that mound with the sunrise and watched in this direction, and he was just waiting for them to calm down a little bit. Are warthogs difficult to catch? Yes, they are quite shy, quite skittish in this area. They know the leopards hunt them, and so they kind of have their head on a swivel all the time. The second thing is that warthogs are seriously powerful animals. They are big, they've got these powerful tusks that they can use, and they can really do some damage to a leopard. I've seen a number of different leopards that have been cut up quite heavily by warthogs. You can actually see the warthogs just disappearing just into the thicket. So where they're going is perfect for him. As here comes a hyena. It's just in front of us. Now, you'll see Tingana's reaction will be to try and stay down and to stay as low as possible. The problem is, hyenas have an incredible sense of smell. Now, you'll find that he'll stand his ground to a point. He might hiss and growl. You can see his tail is up, so he's warning that hyena, you're coming too close. Let's listen if we hear him growl. Look at this. And there we go. Once it realizes there's no carcass here, it just goes off silently and there's not too much of a fight. So he has given us the most epic morning for Tingana, because often he can be a sleepy cat. He likes to find places to rest and have a good lie-in, and so to get him like this is absolutely amazing. Tingana may be up and on the move, but James has found a pile of very lazy snoozing Inkahumas.
We have indeed found the Inkahuma pride, a great mattress of lions lying there in the shade. This famous pride, of course, is made up of 5 adult lionesses and 6 of their offspring, the youngest of which is now 2 years old. Now, it's a daunting group when it wants to be, but at this time of the day, the pride is rather more drowsy, I think, than daunting. Lions move as much as they need to. There's no reason for them to take on some sort of New York banker's work ethic. They have to conserve energy because there isn't a lot of it readily available in their diet. So while they're able to put back an astonishing amount of meat per sitting, theirs is a diet made up almost entirely of protein, and it's very expensive for their bodies to metabolize protein into usable energy. Hence the need to be in a coma for about 20 hours a day. So you see, lions and, well, many other carnivores are not in fact lazy so much as they are genuinely exhausted a lot of the time. But they must eat, and that means they must hunt. The Inkahumas look a little bit hungry at the moment, and their hunting expeditions haven't been entirely successful this week. Perhaps they should have spent less time harassing our spotted characters. The Inkahuma pride, like all lions, spend the majority of their time doing, well, nothing. They roll around a little, but generally sleep more soundly than any other savanna animal. When darkness falls and hunger calls, these dozy cats transform into a lethal and coordinated hunting unit. As their pre-hunt territorial roars echo through the woodland, vulnerable Princess Tlalamba, waiting alone while her mother is out hunting, can never sleep soundly. She must be constantly alert to the danger from the pinnacle of the Djuma predator hierarchy. The lions would certainly have killed the little leopard if she hadn't taken to the branches. Thankfully, the effort was too great for the big cats, and they went in search of a more substantial meal. Dawn reveals terrified but increasingly wily Tlalamba still dozing in the branches, as Tundi, smelling the lions on the dew, chuffs to indicate that all is clear for her precious daughter to descend. Perhaps Tlalamba's chosen method of lion escape is genetic. Her father, despite his advanced years, uses much the same tactics, heading into the tops of trees where he knows lions won't venture. The wily Duke watches the bigger cats below, his resentment almost palpable. Why should such a noble fellow endure such indignity from a bunch of gangsters? He knows they are bigger and stronger, but instinct tells him the flimsy branches on which he precariously balances will intimidate the tawny bullies below. It is only through such discretion that our royal leopards are able to survive as junior members of the predator hierarchy. So despite the fact that these cats can look as they do now like a sort of fluffy, friendly, affectionate bunch of oversized pussycats, they are the terror of these woodlands. And while the title of ultimate authority should probably be bestowed on the elephant, there is not much that will stand up to the Nkuhumas in full charge. A few of them have managed to raise themselves from their daylight comas to do a bit of bathing and scratching and stretching. The cleaning probably has some form of hygienic function. Bonds must be reaffirmed and grudges assuaged just before the patrols begin. That one over there with a suppurating wound on her left hip is the oldest lioness in the pride, and despite her injury, she continues to play a major role in any hunt. Quite often, and especially if the pride has eaten recently, they'll go back to sleep for an hour or two, but the lionesses look like they mean to hunt. Now the weapons must be sharpened in preparation. A russet bush willow being the whetstone of choice, I see. There will no doubt be some horsing around on the 6 youngsters before any serious hunting gets underway. Now, I spoke about elephants being the ultimate authority out here in the Kruger woodlands. Let's go and find out if the same applies with Jamie in the Masai Mara.
Welcome to the vast plains of the Masai Mara, where we have a very dramatic situation playing out. We have 2 elephants right on top of a spotted hyena den. Now, not only is that the case, but hidden in a hole, trapped, is a mother of cubs that are only a month old. She's got 2 cubs. She's hiding in there. We've just seen her head pop out, and she's trapped. There's nothing she can do. She can't get out of that hole quick enough, and she doesn't want to desert her little ones. And these elephants are getting closer and closer, feeding right on top of the den site. Now, this requires a little bit of an explanation. The spotted hyena is the matriarch of a clan that we've been following for 4 months, and this is really probably the most tense we've ever been with her. The elephants are right on top of the den. I'm hoping they're not going to squash her. Elephants don't like predators, and spotted hyenas are particularly repugnant to them. They smell, and they smell strong, and they really just don't like it, and they will kill them if they have the opportunity to do so. She's down in that hole, and she's just got to keep her head down. She can hear them with her very sensitive hearing. We've also got to hope that the den is structurally sound, because although that one elephant is small, the bull on the left is not, and he could easily collapse one of the tunnels on top of those tiny cubs. Now, the cubs at the moment are around about 3/4 of a loaf of bread in terms of their size, and they're still almost completely helpless. They can barely walk at this point, so there's nothing they can do but sit and wait it out, and that bull just keeps getting closer and closer. Oh, he must be less than a foot, literally, when he stepped there, literally less than a foot away from where Waffles is hiding. Oh, he's distracted. He's going after the other bull. They show absolutely no sign of moving away. There's another hyena, actually. I can see another hyena at the back. That might distract them. There we go. Just move behind that elephant. We're going to sit and wait patiently to see whether or not Waffles pops her head back up and brings her cub out only once the threat has passed.
While we do that, let's have a look at some of the dynamics unfolding around the den lately with the rest of the clan. Now that Waffles' secret is out, her den site has attracted some traffic. And although a stretch to compare Waffles to Goldilocks, it was the members of the bear family who were first to move themselves back in. Little Sloth Bear is no longer a pocket rocket, but still enjoys attention from his older sister Teddy Bear. Other members of the bear family greet and reinforce trust bonds by exposing their vulnerable parts to a relation's most powerful part. All this under Waffles' watchful gaze. She engages with her clan members with similar amounts of affection and assertion, also taking part in the greeting ceremony. Family reunion taken care of, it's time for the smallest kids to come out to say a quick hello to the world. Before Waffles takes a well-earned rest.
Waffles is keeping a very close eye on them. That basically precludes the chance of us seeing the cubs for now, until these elephants have come past. I don't think she's going to bring them out. She's going to be too anxious of the potential threat. Now, these elephants are unlikely to cause any harm to the cubs. However, they could walk over the den site and over the tunnels and potentially collapse them. I don't think they will, though, because they equally are good at avoiding holes and potential injury. So I don't think they're going to, but it's a possibility. The hyenas in front of me could end up really, truly irritating the elephants, which is why I put myself in a position where I can make a strategic retreat if necessary, because elephants get very cross, and when they get very cross, they're not terribly discerning when it comes to who they take their irritation out on. And it's not beyond hyenas to go and irritate elephants just for the fun of it, just like wild dogs do. For now, they're okay. For now, they're just ignoring them. And Waffles is kind of wants to be part of the clan's goings-on. She wants to go and join them, but she can't because she's got babies and they haven't eaten breakfast, so she's all half in, half out. Okay, decision made. And gone?
We're with the dominant male lion of the Sausage Tree Pride, Kipuli, striding over this massive burnt area. And you can see, look at this, all the zebra and wildebeest trying to avoid that massive male lion. And we've just spotted a male lion up ahead. He hasn't spotted him yet. Now, it could be one of the young sausage tree males. There he is, there he is. You can just see his head popping up over the grass. Now, let's try and see if we can... It does look like it could be a young sausage. It might not be. With the migration around, there are lots of nomadic lions that follow the wildebeest and the zebra. So if he's not one of the little sausage trees, Kipuli might attack. So this is very, very exciting. We're not sleeping, eating, or fighting. The Sausage Tree Pride spend their time grooming. Reaffirming bonds is essential for any pride, but especially for one in which a new male coalition is taking shape. The pride needs to be a cohesive unit to dominate the Mara Plains. As the sausage tree chorus rings out in warning to any would-be intruders, the pride heads out into the prey-strewn shadows. The migration has officially brought an end to the tough buffalo hunting times. Using sparse cover and the cloak of darkness, the ambush is set. And the reflection of the predatory eyes hone in like lasers on their target. Kinky Tail is the first off the mark, and in her wake, there is little hope for the zebra. The breathless hunters pause only briefly and then begin to feast before their prey has drawn its last breath. But it's not long before sinew and bone is all that remains of the hapless creature. Even during broad daylight, no opportunity is missed. And a zebra tripping up in front of the lounging sausage tree boys spells disaster for it. The males seize the windfall, once again working together as a well-oiled team. This time, they put their victim out of its misery before settling in for an enormous meal. The bounty of the Mara is undeniable, and the boys abandon their kill, having eaten like kings. The lions are now getting closer and closer. It doesn't look like they've seen each other yet. This is going to be a very interesting little scenario that's about to play out here. Is it a little sausage, or is it an unknown male that's sneaking into Kipuli's territory? It looks like the young male has spotted Kipuli. We can't see whether it is a little sausage yet. Oh, they've seen each other. Tail flick. The way this lion is coming in lets me think that it is a little sausage. Let's get closer. So this is probably going to be quite a nice, tender reunion. We've been following Kipuli for about 10 kilometers this morning. He's covered a huge distance. Look at that submissive behavior. Oh, isn't that wonderful? So it is. It's the smallest sausage male. Isn't that beautiful? A lovely reunion. So we're missing one more young male now. A quick hello and then go your separate ways. Is that how it's going today? Now, where are the girls, boys? Where are the girls?
As you can see, in the thickets is Tingana. Unfortunately for him, his warthog hunt was completely ruined by another marauding hyena that went bursting after the warthogs and chased them. They almost chased them towards him. Unfortunately, it was just slightly veered off and he missed his bacon breakfast. And so now he's found himself a beautiful mound that is quite thick and sheltered from many things. Well, it's very difficult to see him, so it's a good place for him to watch out for more prey items, and it will be quite shady, so it's a nice place for the old Duke to spend his day. There's a bit of a yawn. That's a good sign. When cats start to yawn like that, it's often an indication that they are going to start moving, and from up there he might have spotted something. He's been kind of looking towards the sunrise, and it was the last point that we saw a warthog run was in that direction. No, he's going to go the opposite way, of course. But there he's going to come out into the golden light. Tingana may not have had much luck with the warthogs this morning, but generally he's exceptionally good in this pursuit. Even for a leopard of royal standing, catching a meal in the heart of the dry season can be thirsty work. But patience always pays off. And waiting atop a termite mound is bound to render a worthwhile reward. The Duke's supremely honed reflexes make short work of an unsuspecting warthog. And in a flash, he has this formidable protesting prey subdued. Knowing exactly what is required to dispatch his victim, Tingana barely sheds any blood in the execution of his stranglehold. His long canines still long enough to penetrate the thick skin despite his advanced age. A quick moment to catch his breath, and then he moves his trophy, knowing only too well that loitering will draw the nocturnal scavengers. He hoists his heavy quarry with such ease that it makes his prize seem more like a light snack. Tingana spends the remainder of the evening gorging himself on his kill, proving his prize to be a substantial one. A meal that will last him a few days at least. The light of dawn reveals the monarch to be utterly satiated and comfortably reclining on a branch while his digestive system works overtime to reconfigure his bulging belly. Tingana is certainly the king of kills, and so while we leave him to pursue his breakfast, let's send you back to Brent, who has got one of the sausage tree males in pursuit of something else.
Look at this, isn't this special? They are clearly happy to see the young fellow. Well, that pride of 3 females that are now starting to run towards the young sausage male, Kipuli, has continued on. I don't think he noticed the females. These don't look like the females of the sausage tree pride, though. It appears that the males are two-timing their girls. But given that the young boys are related to the sausage tree females, that's maybe not a bad thing. Look at him scent marking. That's unusual for a lion of his age, and the only reason he's able to do that is because of his bond with Kipuli. The females seem to be responding by flirting with him or sniffing and tail flicking. It's behavior that leads to mating. She's trying to play with him. See that flicking tail? You'd think it's quite cheeky for this male to be seducing females while Kipuli isn't around. But we've seen them mating before, so Kipuli seems to see these young boys as equals. You never know, he might still storm in here and take the mating rights for himself.
Two of the Nkuhumas are doing their best to scout the land for a meal, and there seems to be something that has piqued their interest. But I suspect that the golden light bathing them, pretty as it is going to make them a little too visible to any potential prey. There they go. As those lions head off into the night, so we must end this edition of the Catch Report, brimming as it was with lion sleep and soap opera, hyena maternalism, and leopard majesty. We'll see you next time for more intriguing antics from our cast of captivating Catch Report predators.